You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AFTERBUZZ TV's Mary Mary After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Mary Mary After Show.
One, two, three,
This is an awesome one. I love this song. All right, people, Bing is for doing, and we are right here doing the Mary Mary After Show. It is season 2, episode 12, beginning of the end, and it surely is, because next week is the season finale.
Yes.
I mean, this has gone by pretty quickly.
It has. Well, especially for me.
I know, right?
Since I just got here.
You're how many episodes in with us now?
3, I think.
And she's hooked. That's all it takes is one good one.
No, one good one, and I just keep coming back.
And we love it.
Yes.
We love it. Well, I'm Tara Johnson. Happy to be back with you here today. And I have 2 lovely ladies with me today.
I'm Tiona Hobson.
And I'm Ashida Onrae.
Well, it is almost the season end, but we still got to do what we do, as we always do what we do. So take it from the top. The episode opens, and Erica is doing How Sweet the Sound. This is her, I guess, second city. I'm not sure if they're keeping us, in succession, but I think she's in Newark, New Jersey. Last performance didn't go so well. So they say, but let me just say, I looked up some clips on YouTube, and there she was in the gorgeous dress we talked about last week, and I thought her performance was fantastic. I mean, it was great.
I think that she sounded great last week. It was great. She just didn't connect with the audience in what they showed us. I don't know if that was some editing tricks done in there, because we all know posts can do some things to make things look one way or the other. But I felt like her performance was good. She sounded great to me. The audience just wasn't really feeling it.
Right.
The clip I saw, they were on their feet roaring, but you're right.
See?
Oh.
The world of editing and television.
Okay.
Got to add the drama. Dun, 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 dun. So now she's doing Newark, New Jersey, and she's switching songs. She's doing Yesterday. She's not doing Change. She was like, sometimes you want to do something different, but just got to do what works for you. And I think Yesterday is a great, choice. It's a fantastic Mary Mary song. She's really strong in the song. What did you think of her rendition? What we heard of it?
I loved it. I liked this performance better than the one they showed last week because she owned the stage. Last week she was just kind of standing there singing. This week she was moving around. She got the audience involved more, and I loved it.
I agree. Totally agree.
I liked her gray.
Same page this week.
I know, right? We'll see how long that lasts, because we are gonna mention Mitch, and you know how it goes. Once you mention Mitch with Ashida, it's normally we're split. We try, but we're split. We'll see what happens. It's early in the show.
It's real early.
But everyone was saying that this performance was so important because if she didn't nail this one, then the solo career was completely over. So she was feeling the pressure from the performance, but she was also feeling the pressure from a little Mary Mary stuff going on, because Tina back in LA, who was cooking black eyed peas, greens, hot water cornbread, and some beef and gravy over rice. I was like,
You making me hungry.
You're making me hungry too.
I was like, this is a Monday, that's a Sunday meal in
That
my,
was a Sunday meal.
like a special occasion Sunday meal.
Yes, it's like a birthday or something right there.
And
A holiday.
She had like it was just, this is Wednesday. I'm just going to whip something up.
She was in her element. She was like, I am at home with my babies.
She really looks fantastic and comfortable at home doing that type of thing, where so many other women they'd rather be doing their career or it just kind of stresses them out. She just seems to be so in her pocket when she's doing those type of day-to-day things. It's undeniable when you look at her.
Right.
Yes.
She was completely comfortable and happy to do that.
She was.
I don't know. You happy to cook all that food?
I can't cook, so
Well, then there's our answer to that.
I am not domesticated in that way yet. I'm trying, but I don't think I'll ever be with it where it's quick. Because for me to make some chicken takes like 4 hours, and that's not right. So
Well,
I'm a slow cook. So
thank you for warning me.
I know. You're not coming to your house for
Right.
dinner.
Yeah,
We're
don't-
talking about going out. We're going out.
Yes.
Right.
That's quite all right.
You know how to make reservations, right?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm very good at
That's
that.
it.
And that's
Okay.
key.
Boiling water. Oh.
Tea is on
Perfection.
point. I get you. I appreciate that boiling water.
So yeah, I
Whatever
can
make the rice. Whatever make the rice.
I could never be on that level that she is on right now with all those kids running around and making dinner and just smiling the whole time.
She seems to have it so under control. It's amazing. And she and Teddy are sitting down playing with her son. And I loved how she was like, shut up, Teddy. And her son's like, don't say that, Mommy. That's such a real, like, home moment. You're right, baby. I'm sorry.
I love that.
And she brings up the thing with Teddy again about the event on December 29th. They've added more money. They've given a private jet. That's our vacation time. And they had a conversation, which I got a little confused with what Teddy was saying, but the resolution was, we're going to Hawaii.
Right. Which is what I'm all for anyway. They need the break. They need to go to Hawaii. They need to not worry about anything. They need to not worry about the kids, Goo, Mary Mary, anything. Just go to Hawaii, enjoy yourself, have fun, and, do what you do best.
4 kids later.
Make another baby.
But I have to ask, this week, this December 29th day is a little different because Mitch gave us the information that they were offered a date on the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st. Those 3 dates, not that it's about money, equal more money than they're going to make on their 10-day tour. Look, I'm all for my man, love him to death for the time. I'm just asking if time, because time seems to be such an issue and she not wanting to spend time from her family, is that a big enough offer to say, not say you'd cancel the tour, but let's say you take the 3 days, you take the tour, which, the 3 days is equivalent to a quarter's worth of Mary Mary work, then you can take an entire quarter off if you want to and spend time with your family. So now do you still feel the same that you need time and this exact week with your husband, or can we alter a little bit to make some moolah? Just asking.
I think I'm going to be with you on that one too.
Oh.
Yep. I'm 2 for 2.
Look at
What?
this.
2 today.
Oh my goodness, are you feeling okay? Let's
we
check
need
for
a thermometer in here. Something's not right.
2 for 2. I'm with you.
Yeah, as soon as he threw out all that, that's when I was like, you know what? You're screwing over a lot of people right now by not taking these 3 dates. And the type of business that you chose as a career path is the kind of business where this kind of stuff comes up, this kind of stuff happens. And you have to make a choice. Yeah. And sometimes you can't do what you want to do. You have to do what's best for your business.
And your family
And your
also,
family.
because it's, as Erica said, you have an expensive life and you need to
Yes.
fund that life.
Exactly.
So I do. So we're in agreement.
We are all in agreement.
I'm giving you a side eye, Ashida.
And the way the conversation was going with Teddy earlier, I thought he was saying, you know what? Let's just do it. We need to go take this money and do it. And then she was like, no, I'm not doing it.
Yeah, I was confused
I was
because
really-
I thought Teddy was going to go on the side of, yeah, okay, I totally get it. Go ahead and take the date. That's what I thought he was saying
that's
too.
what I thought he was saying. And then she flipped it real quick.
So he's like, so that means we going to Hawaii. Okay, then we going to Hawaii.
Hawaii. Right.
Yes, dear. If dear says we're going to Hawaii, we're going to Hawaii.
Especially when you all can travel together. It's like, you're not really missing out away from your family if you can travel together in a private jet.
That private jet makes all the difference, doesn't
makes
it?
all the difference.
I think because Teddy's position is he's on the Tonight Show 5 nights a week. He has his own band. He's in the Soul Seeker. So I know he's busy also. Mm-hmm. But I think he may have a week's vacation from maybe the Tonight Show.
Yeah, maybe they were like going dark that week or something.
I don't know, but I think in that instance, and I'm a numbers cruncher. I hate to say it. I know. I'm sorry. It's not all about the dollar. But I might have crunched the numbers and said, okay, well, if you want me to negotiate, if you want me to take these 3 days, that means after we do the 3 days and we do this 10-day tour, then I'm on another Tina Nita break from Mary Mary for 3 months, which she seems like she might need, and we'll get to that later. Yeah. We'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that later. So we're getting ready for the Go Get It tour. It's coming up. What do you need most importantly for a tour? You got to get those clothes right.
Yes.
And Gugu is in Atlanta spending time with Justin. Now, Justin has found a 1-bedroom apartment to help Gugu decide if she's coming to Atlanta. I love Atlanta. It's a great city, not far from where I'm from. However, don't know if this move is the move she should be making. And he seems to be putting a lot of pressure on her to make the decision to move. How are we feeling about his statements of, I just, there's no closet space. That means you don't want to come to Atlanta.
You want to take that?
No, you take this one first.
You do.
Because I still got to get that. I still need that to process in my mind.
Justin.
Turn to the camera.
I know, Justin.
Here we go.
I like Justin.
Right.
I do. And I like the fact that he's making an initiative to help her make her decision, which, helping her, assisting her in finding a place. Mm-hmm. Now, being that what Gugu does, she's going to need closet space.
A lot
of closet space. Now, perhaps maybe you can, get the assistance of a realtor. But if she says there's not a lot of closet space, it does not transition to her not wanting to come out. It's just saying, do you know me? Do you know my business? Do you know what I do? I really need you to pay attention to that and make a little bit more effort. That's my 2 cents.
How do you make that jump? There's not enough closet, but you don't want to move out here. You don't want to be with me. That is a huge jump and a bit of drama for a guy to be causing. That's what I'll say.
Wow, these ladies put it down. I think Ashida, I think the point you make about knowing who I am, this is what I do, and this is what I really do, and this is what it takes. Because even if the clothes aren't for her, she's pulling things from different places for different clients. Things are being sent to her all the time. She's getting things, she's sending them out. So she needs a place to handle all of that. So closet for a stylist
is very important.
Is key.
I actually thought that she should be looking at 2-bedroom places just so that she could use the 2nd bedroom as her closet. Maybe buy a place and remodel it so that you have this extra room that you make into a closet, because maybe Atlanta doesn't have a lot of places with big closets right now. Maybe that's the best he could find.
Point.
I mean, it's an excellent point. I think she was shocked when she walked in and said, this is a 1-bedroom. She was like, a 1-bedroom? Mm-hmm. And he was like, I'm not staying here. This is for you. And she was still like, 1 bed? One bedroom.
Right.
It's like a hotel in here.
Yeah, what am I doing in 1 bedroom? And I stay in hotels overnight. I can't live here. But and he's been asking this question of her the entire season. When are you moving? When are you moving? When are you moving? And I think it comes to a point where I think everyone has their breaking point. And she was in Atlanta visiting him. She's looking at this 1-bedroom apartment. So she's open to the idea of this. But it's now down to, let's figure out, if I'm coming, what's really best for me and what I'm bringing to the table, as opposed to just getting me here as quickly as possible.
Yeah, You're not going to go with the first place you walk into. No one, rarely do people fall in love with the first place they look at.
Very rarely.
You gotta see a couple places. I want to see what else is out there, what my other options are, before I make this decision to move my entire life to you.
It's almost like, remember Sex and the City, Mr. Big?
Well, yeah.
Oh,
right. Okay. Remember when he said he had a surprise for her and she opened up the closet door and saw all her shoes?
Absolutely.
That's the cue he needs. That's the example he needs to do.
You
See
can
that,
get
Justin? That's
Sex and the City plays on TBS all the time. If I'm not mistaken, it's the first movie, right? Was
Right,
This the first
it was a
movie?
movie.
It's the
It was
first movie.
yes.
I know it was playing last week, and I watched it. It's playing all the time. That's a good reference point.
That's a good reference point.
A great
That's where
reference
he
point.
can start.
Because it shows that not only do you want me, but you want my life, and you understand my
And
life.
my lifestyle. Yes, absolutely.
You on point today,
I'm on,
girl.
and we all in agreement. I'm loving it.
We're killing it today. But Gugu's still on the fence about moving, as I think she should be, still somewhat torn about packing up everything and moving to Atlanta. So she goes back to LA. She's working with Erica and Tina to get their clothes ready for the Go Get It tour. I'm not really sure what happened and when this conversation took a left turn. I rewound it and watched several times, trying to pinpoint the moment of when the whole thing somewhat fell apart, and I just couldn't pinpoint it. What happened in that conversation? Because I know when Gugu walked in the door, that was not the intention. I don't think.
I agree.
No.
I mean, they went from saying, okay, we need to get our outfits ready for the tour. We don't want to be costumey. We need to have our own personalities.
I know where it started.
Please.
I know where it started. She walked in and said, I'm ready for you guys. She didn't walk in and say, hey, sisters. You know, she didn't. She walked in because she was still, I think, a little upset.
But that was the second time. This is when they're in the Tina and Erica's house.
But she still just walked in and said,
did she?
Yeah, she just walked in and she was like, I'm ready for you guys.
That's interesting.
So maybe I'm thinking that it picked up from there.
For me, if I was Gugu, it would have picked up when Erica referred to her boyfriend as your little old man. It's like, I know you with your little old man. And I was like, okay.
All right.
This is
happening.
This is how this is going to go down. But you let me know if you agree.
Okay.
I heard 3 different things going on in that conversation.
Okay.
I heard Erica saying, if Atlanta's where your heart is leading you, then that's where you should go. However, if that's what you decide to do as Mary Mary and giving everything we have to do, then we might have to find a new stylist.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Okay.
I heard Tina saying, I don't know anything about all that. I'm your sister, and as blood, I think I need to tell you, she went into everything, don't marry this man, don't talk to this man, don't move, this is not the right move for you. And then I heard Gugu saying, you all just want me to live my life for you and what's convenient for you. So clearly there was no communication going on.
Clearly everyone was having their own conversations, hence why they did not understand what the other person was saying or where they were coming from. Because I do agree that Erica was coming from a Mary Mary standpoint. This is business. Our stylist needs to be here with us because things come up. People gain weight, lose weight, fluctuate all the time. So we want a stylist who's going to be here in LA, not have to fly 6 hours to get to us when we need them. Tina was coming at her from a sister standpoint. So you have those two conflicting, where you're mixing business and family, which is already kind of muddy water sometimes. Mm-hmm. It's like, money and family. You don't want to get involved in that sometimes. So then they're on 2 different sides of the spectrum and no one's hearing each other because everyone's just so involved in their own points that they forgot to listen to the other side.
So which of the let's talk about the valid points. Which one did you think was a valid point? Do you think as Mary Mary and she moves to Atlanta, they would need to get a new stylist?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because things change at the last minute. No, because I know Gugu is passionate about her business and she would do anything and move mountains for her sister and for Mary Mary as artists. So I think yes and no, but as far as artists, if I'm an artist, I would definitely have concerns about that. If you are that far away and I have an event coming on, planes, when you're on the plane, it can get canceled, it could be delayed. Anything can happen. So that would be a huge concern for me.
As artists, I agree that they have the right to choose if they would like their stylist to be an LA-based stylist or an Atlanta-based stylist. And at this point, they want LA-based. So it's nothing personal, Gugu. It's just business. That sounds harsh, but...
No, I really have to...
Feel bad.
Yeah, I feel bad.
I feel bad because they're sisters. But I understand business.
I think that's what happens. As Eric was saying, it just flops all over into each other.
Right.
But I think that's the thing. The business part of it says, you're right. Who knows? We could get a gig. Someone may say, we need you to come to this red carpet. We can't get closed if you're in Atlanta. Things happen.
Yeah, it could be 10 o'clock in the morning. Hey, we're going to an event at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We need stuff right now.
But then Google, Google. It's the braces.
They're adorable.
Gugu said they are spoiled. Remember? She said, you guys are spoiled. Now, coming from a place where celebrities are spoiled. I know that I agree with Erica and Tina on this. I would be spoiled too, because there's nothing like having what you're used to. If I'm getting ready to go on stage in 5 hours and you're not here, that will send me through the roof.
Yes.
It'll make me nervous,
Right.
because I am used to being perfect on camera, because the camera picks up everything.
It's true.
You know, so everything needs to be in order. And if you're not here, you have to understand that bothers me. Now, if that's being spoiled, then I'm spoiled. Or am I being professional?
I think it's a really a thin line, because I mean when Gugu was here when we first started the season, she said my sisters are spoiled. I am the one they call for babysitting. Can you pick this up? Can you do this? And that comes with being sisters and living in the same city, 100%, hands down. Also being their stylist, as we've seen on the show over this season, things happen at the last minute. Some outfit I saw on Tuesday, I'm just not feeling it Friday. And what are we going to do? The balance they put together, or maybe the unbalance that, that's present right now, I'm not sure what the right answer is. I don't think there's a black and white. There's a ton of gray.
Yes. I agree. I agree.
Ton of gray.
And if there's anything I've learned from watching like the Rachel Zoe project, is that she never says no to her clients. If they agreed to something on Tuesday and now it's Thursday morning and the event's that night and they're like, I'm not really feeling that, she has an assistant go out and pull more things.
Now,
she makes it work.
Didn't I say Google needs an assistant?
Yeah.
We suggested us, but Google hadn't called.
See?
My number's the same, Google. I don't understand. I throw my hat out there again. No, but it's true. I think an assistant, and if she does make the Atlanta move, that may actually be even more crucial.
Very.
But it's just a little. It's hard to decipher, because Tina made the statement of, let's stop. Let's leave Mary Mary and go to Sisterville. So they almost, and they're trying to talk to each other, they almost like try to separate it, but it just doesn't.
No.
It just.
When we go into Sisterville, I
Yes.
completely agree with Tina's concerns, because me as a person, I'm not moving anywhere for someone else away from my entire family without a guarantee that this is going to work. That personally just scares me, that I'm leaving behind everything to come to you, and I'm coming to all your people, your friends, and if something goes wrong, I'm now stranded in Atlanta by myself without my sisters or anyone to turn to.
Or a ring.
Or a ring. And
But she did. Gugu did say previously, when she was in a previous episode talking to Erica, I would never move to Atlanta without a ring. And so that's why I'm sensing that a lot of this pressure that she's getting from her family and from the Mary Mary business, and people just not supporting her when it comes to Justin, sometimes that's what happens. It just pushes you to a decision you wouldn't make if you didn't have that pressure.
Let me play devil's advocate here. Now, I agree. We're still 3 for 3. We're still 3 for 3.
Trying to hold in there. But I feel something coming on. I don't know.
Let's play devil's advocate for a second. Justin, do you think Justin is saying, let's have a trial basis first before I put a ring on it?
I mean, I'm actually confused by. I don't know how it's going to work without the trial basis, because even Tina's always saying someone needs to come to someone, because there's no way you really know someone until you spend time with them. So either way, someone has to fly somewhere, I think,
Right.
for you really to figure it out. And that means either Goo's going there or Justin's coming here, being that we're all in LA. No one can control which one of those things happen, but it's hard to say, I'm not going to go until I get a ring without somebody going someplace. So I think some kind of trial, something's going to happen. Everyone in the Atkins family is just voting for Justin to come to LA.
Or for her to fly, but if she has a ring.
Right.
That's one of their biggest issues. You don't even have a ring yet, but maybe he hasn't bought the ring yet because he wants to see how it is first, living together under one roof or in the same city. I don't know if they can't live together under one roof, huh?
I don't think so.
Yeah, she's churched.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You churched. I'm sorry.
they don't do that.
They don't do that. Okay, so a ring. I'll just leave it at that.
Right.
Just a ring.
Yes. And I agree that they do need a trial basis, but the way Gugu's talking is that this is a permanent thing.
Right.
And that's what scares her family.
Oh, okay.
If she had said, hey, I'm just going to test this out for a little while, I'm going to find a place, do like a 6-month lease on it, and just see how it goes, that's one way. But the way she's talking, she's picking up and leaving and not coming back. That's how I'm interpreting Gugu's attitude towards it right now.
Because she sees a future. She sees a ring and marriage.
No one else is seeing that yet.
Right.
So she's 3 steps ahead of everyone else. They're still picking up on this.
Yeah, she's like, I'm locking this down. This is going to happen. I'm, moving to Atlanta is just a step because I think that when they, or if they get married, Atlanta will be where they set up residence because Justin is there. He's a musical director, that type of thing.
Right.
So I think in her mind, because she does see a future with him, even if they don't see it, and she's like, I don't care what you think about my man. I'm going because I see this, and this is just one piece that needs to happen for the rest of this puzzle to fall into place.
This would be interesting to see how it plays out.
Definitely interesting to see how it plays out. Well, if you want to continue to stay with us as we play all of this out, like that was good.
And I wonder what the audience opinion is on
Absolutely.
this.
Please let us know. I mean, go to iTunes. You can definitely watch us on YouTube, but go to iTunes and subscribe. Download our podcast. I mean, next week is the season finale, but the podcasts are there. If you're just getting a chance to watch it and you want to catch up on everything, including what we think, definitely subscribe. Leave comments. We want to hear what you think. You're talking to us. We're talking to you. We love to hear what you like, you don't like. We don't know if the shows come back for a 3rd season, but if they do, we want to hear that too.
Yes.
So
Please come back.
I know. Please come back.
Yeah, it just got started. Don't leave me now.
You're just getting started. So lo and behold, as sisters do, everything blows up. Gugu storms out of the house, and Tina's response is, I guess she told us. And Eric was like, she told you. But isn't how families get down? We speak to each other, and it comes from our heart, but maybe the tone doesn't come from our heart, and we just don't hear each other whatsoever. Because Tina, your words, honey, were a tad harsh.
Yes.
They were a little harsh.
Yes, they were very harsh.
And Erica's like, no one's going to hear you if you keep saying that.
I love that Erica was like, maybe the next time let me do the talking.
Right.
You just be quiet.
But did you hear what Tina said? Oh, I'm just going to relay my thoughts to you, and you're just going to bring it.
Right. Even still, then she was like, no, that's not what I'm saying.
Like, no, I'm going to go smooth this over. I'm going to fix this mess.
Right.
We don't need your opinion right now.
Tina's a mess. She reminds me of myself because I'm a little temper. I have a temper like that.
Oh, do tell us, Ashida.
Yeah, I do. This is a little personal stuff. Yeah, I can be very venomous with my tongue. So I get Tina, but then I can also reel it back in. When you care about somebody and you're passionate, you can just kind of be like, wait, what? And it's like bullets. So, yeah, I get it. I do. I understand why she's like that because she's very passionate about it.
Ashida has been holding back on the AfterBuzz audience.
I know.
We still have one episode left.
I'm still sweet.
Yeah.
Look at that. I'm still sweet.
I'm just trying not to be on the other side of that when it comes out.
It did come out a little bit. Didn't it come out a little bit like you do not cross me?
Oh, no, that was. We learned our lesson.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Last week, no doubt.
It's like always being on Ashida's side.
Always. And thus far, the show, we're doing pretty well. Right. So we have the tour coming up. 10-day tour, 10-city tour they're going on, or they went on because, this is in the past, and they're getting ready. And they're sitting at the dance studio preparing to rehearse, and lo and behold, there's no Lorianne Gibson, who we love and adore.
Yes.
And I thought this was going to be a time for us to see Lorianne Boom Cack one more time and get some more Lorianne-isms.
She's so crazy.
I love her.
Love her. And she overbooked and she's not going to be there. So now these ladies are choreographing, directing, and staging their own concert. In the words of Tina Campbell, who does that?
She's doing a lot.
She is.
She's doing what? 3 kids in car seats.
Who does that?
Who does that? But hey, do what you got to do. We're warriors. We can do it. We're women.
Exactly.
Women warriors can do it.
Yeah, you have to. You have to
do
forge
it.
on.
It's one of those moments where you have no other choice but to do it, so it has to get done, and it will get done.
And they're leaving in, a day for this tour, and they have people in 10 cities who can't wait to see them. They had to cancel the tour last season because that's when Erica was pregnant. So their fans are waiting to see them, Lorianne Gibson or not. Man in the corner. Whoever says they can dance, let's get it done. We got to get it done.
Got to get it done.
So they're getting it done, doing the choreography, and then Erica stops because she has to take her pressure medication. I was like, I'm Southern. That sounds like the most Southern thing I've ever heard of. And why are you taking medicine? Because my pressure. I was like, that's the most Southern thing I've ever heard of. And then she falls a tad ill. And Tina threatens to cancel the tour.
Doesn't that sound like the shoe on the other foot? I'm just asking. Doesn't that sound like and was adamant about it? I'm canceling the tour. Really?
Like,
really, Tina?
We can't postpone the first date. Like, we got to cancel the whole thing because
I'm wiping this whole thing out.
I'm being a sister right now.
Yeah.
Give us a minute. Remember, she's like, give us a minute, please. Oh, yeah.
I'm
She was on the other foot.
Yeah, I'm wiping this joker completely out if you don't stand up in 1.2 seconds flat. And she did. She looked a little woozy, but there's just a lot of stuff going on. But I love when she said, well, not love when she said, but I respected when she said, the thing that falls by the wayside through all of this so much is me and taking care of myself. And she knows she can't do that because the pressure. And the kids and her husband and her family. So it's a hard balance, yet still they're balancing the sister and sister, they're balancing the business, and they have to balance their personal life and taking care of themselves also. So we got one Mary healed, and the other Mary got sick as soon as we hit Jacksonville, Florida.
maybe there was a bug. They were passing it to each other.
I know, it's like a bloopers tour or something.
Yeah.
It was like, what can go wrong?
What else can go wrong before we hit the stage on night one of this tour?
Night one of this tour. It was incredible. So lo and behold, great Mitch calls asking where the ladies are because they're supposed to be rehearsing for the tour. Erica says, I have a sick Mary here. She's throwing up. He suggests, or tries to suggest, because I don't even think he got a chance to get the suggestion out of his mouth, about Treva their assistant, taking Tina to the doctor, and Erica handling sound check and rehearsal and everything, and he was stopped dead in his tracks. Mary and Mary both are going to the doctor. And he said, okay, just call me back when you're ready to work. Now, Ashida.
I've been looking at her the whole time you're talking to us.
Right, of course. Ashida.
Yes.
Being, the president of the Team Mitch fan club, I'm just saying. The way this conversation went down initially, what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was that Mitch was wrong.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
The way he worded, when you are ready to get back to work, as if they're just playing and nobody's playing. So, yeah, I'm not Team Mitch this time. I'm sorry.
How about that?
I know.
Wow,
Yeah,
I did
not see that coming.
I was waiting for her to say, I thought he was right all day.
No.
So it's the tone at which he delivered the message.
Yes, and the wording, when you are ready to go back to work. They're not playing.
Yes.
They're not goofing off. They're not, she's sick. So, and they're hard workers, and he knows that, and he realized he made a mistake.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's like what my mama always tells me. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. I have that problem a lot, Mitch, so I understand.
We should get T-shirts. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. 100%. And he did. He came over and made amends.
He did.
Tina made it a little difficult.
Of course.
I was hating you. I was going to bite your head off.
Right.
But he stuck in there. Do you think by now, Mitch has been their manager, I would guess maybe a little over a year now, and Erica even said the problem with Mitch is he thinks business too much and not family. Do you think he's starting to mesh into their family now? Is he starting to be a part of the family? Do you get the sense that, I don't know if, before in the episodes, if he would have been able to have that kind of, going back and forth, that banter with Tina, because before they just didn't seem to have that. But do you think they've worked out their relationship and they can be a family now?
I think that they're a little bit family now because the way that he talks to them and the way they come right back at him, that's how they are with their family. That's how they are with Gugu and everyone. So I think they have embraced him as part of the family, and that's why he can say those things and they also respond in the way that they do. But then at the end of the day, they will be family still and be okay with each other. He hasn't got fired. He's talked to them crazy a number of times. If he's still around and has not been fired, that means that they love and respect him as family.
I agree. 5 and 5. We on 5.
Oh,
Five.
yeah, we on fire.
Yeah, we on
What
fire.
to do today?
Happy Sunday.
Where's the moon or something? I don't know what's going on.
I agree.
Wow. Okay. So we have 1.5 healthy Marys. Erica's feeling okay. Tina's kind of half, But she says, the doctor says it's a bug, but you definitely need rest. She was like, absolutely not. I'm going on this stage tonight. Won't you watch me?
Right. Here's a ticket.
It's not a crisis. Now that I know it's not a crisis, I'm hitting the stage.
Hitting the stage. And they come into the venue only to see the set is different. And my assumption is, and I hate to make assumptions, but from what we were given in the show, because they were at the doctor with Tina, Mitch came in, tried to save some time, I guess as a manager may do, and made some judgment calls on the set. So they could proceed when the ladies got there, rehearse, get ready to go. Clearly he must have changed something. I don't know. Was it even revealed us what he changed?
Just a set. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they moved the mic,
And
if
where the band was. I don't know what they...
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
But it set it off.
It did.
It really set it off. And I have to say this, and we all know Tina's outspoken. We love her when she's outspoken. She speaks her mind. She speaks from her heart. We love that. But this outburst just sounded different than the others before. I was really confused by it. I didn't understand what was going on.
Why she was so upset.
I didn't understand.
6 and 6. I agree.
That's when I was kind of team Mitch. Like, he made a judgment call. You were sick. You went to the doctor. You didn't want to send Erica over to do the business that needed to get handled. So he had to do what he felt was best to help this show actually happen. And now you're upset about it in a way that I can't understand why she was so upset. Maybe it was the pressure of being sick and the goo-goo drama and the dates with her husband, and maybe all of it was finally just coming out at this moment. But Mitch, the band, everyone around in that moment did not deserve what happened.
I agree.
Yeah, it was a bit much. And I this is not to be insulting, but I really wanted to do the research to see the extent of possibly how long postpartum, depression or hormones or whatever can possibly go on. And I'm not saying that at all. By no means am I saying she was depressed, but I know after a woman has a baby, there's a lot of hormones and different things that you feel. And I just didn't know if that was it, because it just seemed as if this one was just different. And maybe it was the new baby and being away from the family, and she wanted to bring Santana, who's the cutest thing I think I've ever seen.
So adorable.
And she decided to leave him behind with Teddy. Maybe it was just a combination of things, but this just had a tone that was completely different of the other things. I didn't hear the heart in it like I normally hear from Tina's outburst. It just didn't seem...
It wasn't warranted. No. Her reaction wasn't warranted to the situation at all.
And Erica tried to comment, and it wasn't even as if she was listening to anything Erica said. It was just, she was gone. She was in another place.
She was in another place. Yeah, I agree.
So I guess we have to figure out and wait until next week to see what happens, but we'll hold that off into predictions. So I guess we should get into a little news and gossip.
AfterBuzz TV News.
Well, I have to say, this was a busy week for Mary Mary, and what happened was, if you are on Instagram, you can follow Erica Campbell at Miss EMC, and she has some fantastic pictures up of herself and her sister Gugu. They actually attended the Gospel Goes to Hollywood event this past week in Los Angeles, and it was the second annual Gospel Goes to Hollywood Awards luncheon, and it happens every Friday before the Oscars for the last 2 years. And it was hosted by Donna McClurkin and Wendy Raquel Robinson, and they honored Devin Franklin, Marla Gibbs, we love us some Jefferson, some 227, and Cheryl Lee Ralph. And Mary Mary actually performed. And if you take a look on her Twitter and her Instagram, you can see some fantastic pictures of her. There were no pictures of Tina, unfortunately. I love to see how you look, after the baby. I know you just get back into it, but it was Erica, and she looked fantastic. She also posted some different things she's getting from different stylists. It was this fantastic black clutch. Call me, girl, because I need that. It was fantastic what she had. And also there was on Twitter, if you follow them on Twitter, it's The Real Mary Mary. There's a hilarious picture of Justin, who happened to be at, I guess, either Eric or Tina's house when this last week's episode aired. And it's his reaction as he's watching the television as Tina and Erica go off about him. You have to see that it's just a picture of him standing. His eyes are about as big as golf balls, and he's just standing there observing as they're really just tearing him apart.
Wow.
That's family right there. If you can do that, that guy might be in the family.
Yeah. Wow.
So check out her Instagram as well as her Twitter. And let's go into some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So next week is the season finale. We saw on the previews for next week fireworks, fireworks, fireworks. Erica, Tina, Tina, I'm done. Tina leaves. So what do we think is coming up?
You want to start? Because I can start. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can start. I have
start.
no idea. I was like, my prediction is I will be watching on Thursday night to see what happens. There's my prediction.
Great prediction.
My prediction is Tina storms off, Erica calms her down, they work it out, and they go back to the show.
That's it. You think it's just a momentary glitch?
I think it's just a momentary glitch. I think like maybe hormonal, issues of leaving, feeling like you're leaving your son, you're upset, because that's what she said. I feel like I need a break from Mary Mary. So I think it's just some kind of feelings that she's feeling inside, and she hasn't voiced it yet. But I think that also they're going to have another blow up at the table. Remember where they were sitting at there? Yeah. So I think everything's going to come to a head and kind of leave us hanging too.
And that's unfortunate because, as I said before, it hasn't been renewed for a third season. At least I haven't been able to find anything online saying that WeTV has renewed it. Where's that press release? We're waiting. We're waiting. In the article that we read last week about them performing in South Africa, they did mention that there will be cameras there for their reality show, but who knows? Who knows if it's really going to be renewed? I don't know what to expect next week for the season finale, but I'm with you. I'll be watching.
I'll be watching too.
Glued to the television. Well, I'm Tara Johnson. Thank you so much for being here. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TJ Path to Passion.
I'm Tiona Hobson, and you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at TweetT22.
And I'm Ashida Onrae, and you can find me on Twitter at Ashida Onrae.
Well, that is it for this week, and we'll be back next week, ending the second season. I cannot believe it, but thank you so much for being here with us. We love your support. You can find the Twitter for the show at Mary Mary AFT Show, Mary Mary After Show. And until next week, we bid you goodbye.
Bye.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.